Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live 10 at 10.
The intimidation and the anxiety I experienced from the Veterans Home Administration was nothing short of alarming.
5 minutes each. That's the time 3 families had to express their anger, frustration, and lack of empathy at the governing board for the North Dakota Veterans Home. Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Now, for months, we have been looking into the Lisbon, North Dakota facility's practices, the governing board, and accusations levied against them. Valley News Team's Bradford Eric talks with several frustrated people today who say they just want someone to listen.
In attendance to again question the board, Van Satlak.
How do they know it won't work if they don't try?
Van Satlak's father was the nearly blind, nearly deaf, 97-year-old World War II vet kicked out of the Lisbon facility for cursing at another resident.
You're blind, you don't see half the out.
My name is Marlene Boyer. My concern regards the handling of financial issues.
Another case, Marlene Boyer's brother was a resident of the vet's home around 2011. She lives in Carrington, North Dakota, a long way from her brother in Lisbon. She had the power of attorney and kept getting her brother's discharge notices in the mail.
They're very alarming. They cause a lot of anxiety for families, and it just needs to be stopped. And it would be an easy do. All they would really have to do is meet in person.
Still another case, the family of Wyman Galbraith, a resident of the vet's home. He's since passed, but in this letter, the family alleges it was not uncommon to find Dad in a visibly soiled bed in mid-afternoon, wearing yesterday's clothing, and that staff wanted to prematurely withdraw his nutrition in order to expedite his death.
There were numerous times when they talked with staff and they pointed out, gave them suggestions on how better to communicate with Wyman, and it just seemed to fall on deaf ears.
Federal law, state law and rule, and also those policies and rules that are coming out of the Veterans Administration all have as an absolute priority the privacy of the resident. So any other kind of extenuating circumstances or additional information that we may have had access to during these discussions that have taken place, we can't share with anybody.
We were told state law won't allow them to discuss specifics relating to Van Satlak, Marlene Boyer, or Mary Galbraith's family.
Well, we wanted them to feel that they'd had a chance to be heard, and of course we'll read the additional material that they provided for us.
So what's the takeaway from all of this? The governing board is finally giving those with questions, concerns, and problems time to talk, something these families say was not happening before. It may have only been 5 minutes, but for these people, it was at least a start. Bradford Eric, Valley News Live.
And we want to thank you, our viewers, for continuing to reach out to us with both concern and praise for the North Dakota Veterans Home. And if you need help uncovering fraud and corruption in your community, all you have to do is call our whistleblower hotline at 701-237-6576. Leave your tip with us, and a member of our investigative team will get on the case.
It was a potentially violent situation at Catalyst Motors in South Fargo today. The call came in that someone was waving a gun at people at the dealership. When we got there, one customer was visibly irate. He says his car was repossessed after he missed a payment. He showed up this afternoon to make it right, and someone inside the business, he says, threatened him, and they had a gun.
Yeah, it is a messed up situation. Somebody needs to step up to this guy, because this stuff is wrong, okay? Everybody, you got to step up. Catalyst Motors, this guy is wrong. This guy has been ripping people off. This is not the first time. It's not the second time. It's not the third time. It's not the fourth time. It's about at least hundreds of people that came over here and at least complain about this guy.
We've documented dozens of complaints against this business from people around the area.
Scratch Greenhawks and North Dakota off the list. The University of North Dakota's nickname task force shortened the list of potential nicknames from 7 to 5 tonight. Here are the remaining names: Fighting Hawks, Nodaks, North Stars, Rough Riders, and Sundogs. Once again, the 2 that were eliminated were Greenhawks and North Dakota. The 5 remaining names will be passed on to UND President Robert Kelly, who will cut or add names to that final list before a public vote is taken. And let us know what you think about the new list of names on our Facebook page. Just like Valley News Live and then comment. You can follow the latest news, weather, and breaking news updates anytime on your feed. Just search Valley News Live, like our page, and you'll stay informed the entire day.
It was all about how your tax dollars will be spent. Fargo School Board today discussing how they plan to budget the district because they fear they won't have enough money. School Superintendent Jeff Schatz suggested the district compare itself to nearby similar-sized districts to look for any overspending. The board also is considering another property tax mill levy vote in either the summer or fall of 2016.
The reality is that if you're going to make significant adjustments to a budget, it can't help but impact the core mission of the district. It just can't.
I think the number one reason that it didn't pass is nobody felt there was any pain involved with not passing it, right?
The board also talked about ways to educate voters on the need for another vote and why it should pass.
Tonight, people got a better understanding for what it's like to live with vision challenges. The Fargo Theater hosted a screening of Going Blind. It's a documentary depicting the lives of people with various causes of vision loss. The Fargo Lions Club partnered with ND Vision Services for the blind and the Fargo Theater to commemorate the 25th anniversary of the signing of the Americans with Disabilities Act. All of the funds raised will go to the theater to purchase audio description and closed captioning equipment to accommodate people who are blind or deaf.
Audio description is a way to describe the visual aspects of a movie, a play, live theater. It's used in museums and art all over the world. And what it does is it describes the visual aspects of, let's say, a movie or a film like tonight.
Now, if you were unable to attend tonight's event but would still like to donate, you sure can. You can write a check out to Going Blind and send it to the Fargo Lions Club.
It was a heartwarming welcome home tonight for a group of North Dakota National Guard soldiers who had been serving overseas since September. 12 of the soldiers arrived in Fargo. 3 others flew into Bismarck. These soldiers provided logistical support to units in the U.S. Central Command area. That's also known as CENTCOM, which is one of 9 commands in the U.S. military that consists of 20 countries in the Middle East. But now they can spend some quality time with their family members.
It's really exciting to be able to come home and see my family again after being gone almost a year. I'm excited to spend time with them and catch up with everything I missed.
Certainly, and welcome home. Since the 2001 terrorist attacks on America, the North Dakota National Guard has mobilized more than 4,200 soldiers and nearly 2,600 airmen in support of the global war on terrorism.
Jurors are still deciding the fate of a Fargo man accused of killing his roommate and cousin last summer. If he's found guilty of murder, Christopher Hampton could spend the rest of his life in prison without parole. Prosecutors claim that Hampton shot Randall Donor because he suspected Donor of poisoning him. Hampton says it was self-defense and that Donor had cornered him with the gun. The jury could also consider lesser charges of manslaughter and negligent homicide.
Services have been set for longtime KFGO weather forecaster Terry Spees. He died of a heart attack last night. A memorial service is scheduled from 5 to 7. That's Friday evening at the West Funeral Home in West Fargo. The funeral is scheduled for 10 Saturday morning at Faith Lutheran Church in West Fargo. Spees joined KFGO in 1997 after a lengthy career with the National Weather Service. Terry Spees was 70.